Now, this might be too much of a complicated question, but you're talking about reincarnation a lot, and obviously there's some time periods in between being reincarnated and the various existences. What happens when you die in your own personal theory?
Oh, yeah. Well, from what my clients have said, the body feels exhilarated right before death. So, what happens is right before you're about to die, there's like a feeling of euphoria. And it feels so good. And then all of a sudden, you are popped out of your body, like when you fully die. And then you notice the lack of body, and that feels like a huge relief. So it's like you can still see, hear, experience everything, but you see in all directions. So, like many of my clients, when they first die and they talk about it, they're like, I can think about the sink and go to the sink while being over here. So it's really interesting because we see with our eyes facing this way. When you die, you see everything. You can like, it's different. And you can be in multiple places at once. It's really, really different. So usually right upon death, you're greeted by some of your pets, which are usually the first ones to greet you, and then family members, your higher self, your spirit team, and in general, usually would go into a resting area if you had any trauma in your life, or you would go review your life. But most people have to be cleansed from this human life because it's so hard. And then they would go into the review. And then once you go through the review, you can actually take classes over there. So you can decide what it is you want to learn. The classes are usually based on what it is that you want to learn. So the learning is much better apparently here, because it's one thing to be on the other side and learn, but this is like where you practice, where you actually learn, because your soul can grow so much more when you're physically incarnated than it can on the other side. You still experience growth, but not as much as you do here. And yes, the time periods, reincarnation is really an interesting thing because I did not understand this at all. I always understood it as you're born, you have a life, you die, you go into another life. But the higher self has said it's not at all like that. It's like they say I go like this, but they told me turn my hand out and go like that. It's almost like the lines on a record, they're all there. So he told me, think of it all out in front of me. Like everything is happening right now, but you're physically focused on this one experience. But your soul, to maximize the experience, goes into all different directions. It's like your soul is in all different places, but you're having a full experience as you. You're focused on this experience, but you're also having another experience somewhere else. I don't know if that makes sense. I know it took me a while to figure that out.
Yeah, I may have to watch this a few times to fully comprehend everything.